If you struggle with your drums in FL Studio, this video is for you. Today I'm going to show you how to make trap drums in FL Studio 21. Let's hop straight into it. Okay, so it's really about sound selection. We have a whole thing of all the bright drum sounds. Just go to our Discord. It's discord.gg/busyworksbeats. You'll have drum kits from Metro Boomin, Madlib, MF Doom, Just Blaze, Jay Dilla, Dr. Dre, Scott Storch, Alchemist, TM88, you name it, Southside. So all the top producers, okay, it's in the Lunch 77 drum kit. The link is on our Discord, okay? So the first thing you need to understand is that there's like four main 808s. There's the Zay 808, you have the Spins 808, then you have like a detune type of 808, and then you have short kind of kick, like kind of 808s, okay? So those are the four main ones. You don't need to memorize those exactly, but just understand you have different types of 808s. You have tonal 808s that are used for different notes, and you have some other ones that are just used to like hit once and not change the note. Okay, so that's very important because you don't want to use the wrong 808. There's no wrong thing, but you know what I'm saying. So again, I even compiled all the top 808s in a Discord. So if you go to discord.gg/busyworksbeats, I have 120 808s for you, all the top ones out of all of my libraries, and you get the Roland TR-808 drum samples we did too. These are all the top ones. Okay, so let's just go through a couple so you can hear these. Now here's an 808 where you would just play it. You wouldn't change the note. More like a TikTok 808. This one's more tonal because you could change the note. It's very clean. This one's detuned, like that chorusy sound. Here's like the yeet thing. You usually don't change the notes on this one. Here's the Zay. Okay, a lot of Pierre Bourne stuff. Even Drake's album had this 808 right here. So let's open that up. Let's grab that yeet one. Okay, and then let's grab like one more just for demonstration purpose. This is kind of like the Spins one, but amplified. Okay, so just from these three alone, we can get a lot of the sound of trap. So the next thing about trap is the hi-hats. It's very specific. It's a synthetic hi-hat. It's not an acoustic hi-hat. What I mean by that is we're not playing a drum kit and playing acoustic drums. We're playing synthesized sounds, and it has a whole different vibe than acoustic. Trust me, I've tried before. My mentor is a crazy drum player, and we tried to make a drum pack one time, and it just sounded like not trap. So the next thing we need are hi-hats. So these hi-hats are synthesized hi-hats, okay? So they're not acoustic. Okay, you can mess with open hi-hats if you want. Really, it comes down to hi-hats. Closed hi-hat, short sound. Next thing we need is a clap. You're gonna hear this clap everywhere. It's the Roland TR-808 clap. Just a lot of people like edit it. It's the same clap, okay? We've been using the same clap for years. Okay, it's the Roland TR-808 clap from the drum machine. Okay, so once you have the clap, the 808, and the hi-hat, the kick is kind of arbitrary. Everybody has a different style kick. My favorite kick that is my go-to is from Drumify, and it's by BWB, Kit Volume 5, kick number 10. Okay, so it's a super punchy, straight to the point. You can layer it pretty well. So those are the sounds when it comes to drums. Now let's talk about the tempo. Tempo you want to work at is about 120 and up is pretty much trap, okay? So the reason we work in these higher tempos is because we want to make hi-hat rolls a lot easier. When you're at a slower tempo, it's a little bit harder to do it in the piano roll. So open up your channel rack and let's get started with the rhythm. First rhythm is so simple that it's almost too scary. It's simple. Click anywhere on the right side to open it up, and then right click and fill each two steps. That's your hi-hat pattern for you. You don't need to do much. Now, over time, you'll learn about hi-hat rolls. You can go to your piano roll, for example. Let's say you want to make a hi-hat roll. Okay, so let's say I want a hi-hat roll right here. You can highlight this note, hit Control L to make the note longer, and then hit Alt plus U, and then you could change the time multiplier. And that's how you make quick hi-hat rolls like that. Now, more advanced hi-hat rolls, look for my shorts on hi-hat rolls for pitch dives and everything else. Actually, I'll just show you. Okay, so if you click the bottom, you can click here. If you don't see this, grab your ellipses at the bottom here and pull this up. And you can control the pitch of these notes. So let's highlight these notes and right-click the fine-tune pitch. And that's how you do pitch dives like that. Okay, used in a lot of very specific genres. Okay, so that's what we use to add, because if we're only using one hi-hat, back in the day we used to have percussion and different instruments. Now we're only using one, so we have to mimic all the other instruments in this one hi-hat. That's why we have hi-hat rolls nowadays. Okay, so let's add that to the playlist. I like to separate my drums into different patterns. Okay, let's go to song mode, separate the sounds. Now let's move to pattern 2. And I usually keep my kick and my snare on the same pattern. Let's add this in and just drag the edge. So you just left click to drag in pattern 2 and left click to drag the edge. Now some beats don't need kicks. Okay, so it's hard to teach you what needs kicks and what don't. You have to really go by the feeling. Not every trap beat needs a kick though. Okay, so we're gonna turn the metronome on. Listen to the 3 and the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's where the snares go, 3 and the 7. Now you can do the boom, boom, clap, 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 clap thing, but it's a little dated of a sound. It depends on the genre. Boom, boom, clap, 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 clap. Okay, not really modern technique, but you could try that if you need more bounce. And now the kick usually goes boom, 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 like that. Okay, so let's grab pattern 2 and repeat it. Now, if your drums sound repetitive, it's because you're using too small of a loop. I mean, think about it. We're at 140 BPM, but it's really not, this isn't really 1 bar. This is half a bar. Because when we're at these higher tempos, yes, we're at higher tempos, but really the BPM is half of this. So it's 70 BPM, which just means, to shorten it up, you have to double everything. So if this 4 bars is really 2 bars. So if your drum sounds stagnant and boring, it's because you need to change your drums over a period of time. So I'll show you how to combine this. What you can do to merge patterns is hit Control and then hit Control G, okay? And that will combine these. So now I can double click in here to edit. Let's edit the kick to give it a little more bounce. Okay, so I added a kick in there just so it changes up over time. And then you could right click to delete those, hit Control B to latch paste. Now let's move into the 808, which is the main attraction here. So it's 3 different 808s. Okay, we have the jug, or the Z808, some people call it. We have the yeet one, and then we have the spins. Okay, so let's do each one. This one, again, is just more of like, you don't really change the note of this 808. It's just built for that tone. So you just kind of stack it up with the kick. Now, you're going to ask me, how do you level this stuff? In short, try soft clippers, okay? K-Clip is a good soft clipper. T-Rex Classic Clipper is a really good one. So you combine the sounds by kind of blending them together. There's more to it than this. Okay, so let's send these sounds to our mixer. And you can hear the tone change a little bit. Now I'm pushing this pretty hard. Now you can't really tell that the kick and 808 are 2 different things. So that's how we blend sounds for the most part. That's not the only way to do it. I also like the tone of T-Rex Classic Clipper. I'm just putting you guys onto plugins and put it on soft clip mode. You can see we're taking out 3 dB, which is pretty heavy, without even moving this gain knob, which that's why I'm using this other K-Clip. Okay, so that's how you combine kicks and 808s for the most part. That's a very generalized way of going about it, but that's how you do it. Okay, so that's the first 808. Next 808, let's do the yeet. Okay, now this one can change tone. There's no hard rules for 808s. I just want to start there. You can use high-pitched 808s. You could use whatever you want. There's no rules. But as far as like what's happening now, okay, we're usually still using half steps. Also change your snap to grid to 1/2 or 1/4 beat to write your drums a little bit easier in the piano roll. So let's say you want that yeet vibe. What you could do is add a note here at the end, which is the middle C. Double click on it and make it a slide note. You could hit Control L if you want to see this. Actually, it doesn't work on slide notes. Just hit Alt, grab the edge like that. So what this will do is the pitch will bend from F to C over this amount of time. So it goes like that. Okay, so then you will repeat that. Okay. Now, if you have multiple 808s and you heard the 808s clash, what you could do is just add a note at the end, turn the velocity down. There's another way to do it, but I don't want to bore you to tears about every little tiny thing. So for example, if I have another 808 coming, I'll add that muted note so the 808s don't overlap. I'll also do it in pattern 4 here. Turn that volume down on that last note on the drop down. That way it cuts the 808 off. You could also use cut groups, but I don't want to get too deep here. Okay, now let's use the tonal 808, which is the spins 808. Okay. Now this one is meant to change notes, okay? So it has more of a long tail sine wave type shape to it for those who understand what I'm saying. Now let's hit Alt to restore our velocity in the bottom here. Hit Alt, left click to restore. And let's add some tone here to this 808. Let's do down. Now, if you struggle with tone with the 808, try half steps. It just means going from one note to directly to the note above or below. Now, this is a little too low of an octave. Now, with 808s, you know, if you play higher notes, it shortens the sample. So sometimes you play such a high note that it sounds like a little blip. It's because the higher you go, the shorter the note becomes. Lower you go, the longer. Usually E and F are like the sweet spot for most 808 samples. Let's turn these hi-hats down a little bit. Okay, so see how it overlapped again? I need to make sure I add that note and turn it off. This is only when you're using multiple 808s or you need your 808 to cut off. Okay, let's turn on our K-clip and see all these patterns combined. You will get these project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/musictheorymagic, and I'll give you the project files for free, along with a chord code chart, scales code chart, and a mode code chart for our music theory course coming out pretty soon called Music Theory Magic. I want to thank you all. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.